Hello everyone and welcome to EduTap. Guys, we're back with another session for Himachal Pradesh Administrative Services for the year 2021 and 2020. Guys, from this session onwards, we are beginning the reading comprehension part, comprehension passages which are very frequently thrown at the aspirant exam. Guys, this is a session for English language, and before we begin, if you like to get the PDFs of these sessions for free, you can join our Telegram channel, the link for which has been given in the description of the video. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you do not miss out on any. Guys, I wish you all the very best for your preparation, and we promise to be throughout this journey. And if you wish to contact us for our courses or anything else, you can do so on this number. You can drop us you can call us 8146272241 during the office hours, or you can drop us an email at hello@edutap.in. Guys, before we begin, I would like to discuss with you some key points to remember for your English comprehension part. Now, guys, people believe that it's just on the basis of your understanding of English. No, it is not. There are many other factors that come into play. Guys, before we start understanding how reading comprehension passages, what level of passages you face in the exam, you must understand that there are some tips and tricks to follow. First and foremost is the reverse reading. What is reverse reading, guys? You should read the questions first before you read the passage, so you get a better idea and a better insight into the topic of the passage and what you have to look for in the passage. So that becomes very easy to start, following this trick of reverse reading. Then reading between the lines, that is also very important. Most of the questions are either inference based or conclusion based. So you have to basically carefully read the passage and to understand what has been conveyed, not directly, but maybe indirectly in the passage. Second is reading between the lines. Next, guys, you have to very carefully assess the statements and you have to control the understanding of the passage. Unless you are able to understand the whole passage holistically or generically, it would be very difficult for you to answer the question. The, the options that are given after the questions, they are very, very close sometimes. Guys, you must understand the elimination method. In elimination method, what we understand is we have to carefully reject the options which are definitely wrong, and then you are left out with options that you can. So reverse reading, first trick, then reading between the lines, then careful assessment of the passage, and then elimination method. And then we'll discuss in this session how to basically solve such passages. Let's begin, guys. This is a passage which is basically a type of a passage which is basically known at the aspirant exam. Let's discuss this and let's try to solve it together. So first read the question, that is the reverse reading that I told you. Which of the following is the most rational inference? See, so you should understand what inference basically means. Inference is basically, guys, something that can be assumed from the passage after reading the logical premises of the passage. Right? Whatever information has been given in the passage, you should understand, comprehend, and then infer your answer from that. So you have to find a inference from the passage. This is first step of reverse reading. So you now I've understood what I have to look for, right? Now carefully read the passage, try to read between the lines and carefully assess what we are given in the passage. So let's read the passage, guys. Climate change is likely to expose a large number of people to increasing environmental risks. So what are we talking about? Climate change is likely to expose a large number of people to increasing environmental risks, forcing them to migrate. That means climate change is definitely going to force people to migrate from one place to another. The international community is yet to recognize this new category of migrants. The international community, I mean, there has been no recognition of this community. They're calling, this new category of migration. There is no consensus on the definition and status of climate refugee, owing to the distinct meaning of the term refugee carry under international law. Absolutely. The refugee is basically a person who another country, is to be, look for a place of safe haven, right? That is the meaning of the word refugee. But these type of refugees are not yet being. There are still gaps in understanding how climate change will work as the root cause of migration. They are saying people still do not understand how climate change is going to be the most important factor for migration in the upcoming time, in the future. And if there is a recognition of climate refugee, who is going to provide protection? Absolutely. more emphasis has been given to international migration, climate change. But there is a need to recognize the migration of such people within the countries also, that their problems can be addressed properly. They're talking about a new type of migration, new type of the basis of climate change, and they have yet not been recognized by people across the world and within the countries itself. That should be looked after. That's what the author has conveyed here. So let's look at the question now, guys. The following is the most rational inference from the passage. Let's read the options and let's try to eliminate now. First is the world will not be able to cope with large scale migration of climate refugees. Has this been anywhere discussed in the passage? World will not be able to cope with large scale migration of climate refugees. When something is not discussed, cannot assume it is true, guys. Can eliminate that. Second is we must find the ways and means to stop further climate change. Somebody has said that we should stop, migration due to climate change. So that is also absolutely wrong. Third is climate change will be the most important reason for the migration of people. Be true. Or relation between climate change and migration is not yet properly understood. See, we could eliminate A and B, but C and D were close. See, it also seemed very because they have said there is a need to recognize this migration of such people in the countries, and there are still gaps in understanding how climate change will work as the root cause of migration. That is also true, but what is the most rational inference? So, what he has conveyed in the whole passage is in climate change, migration is not yet properly understood. So, that is what was basically conveyed in the passage. My answer here would be definitely option number D. Option number C was also correct, but the most rational inference that could be taken from the passage, and D is the most rational inference. So that's how you basically read the passage, carefully assess, read between the lines, and then eliminate your options so that you can find your answers. See my point, guys? We'll practice these passages in the upcoming sessions as well. Let's solve another passage on the same basis, guys. We have to find the most logical and rational inference that can be made. Again, we have to find the infer. Find the inference from the passage and what we can infer from them. Let's read the passage, guys. An air quality index, AQI. An air quality index is a way to combine measurements of multiple air pollutants, single number or rating. You all know what AQI is, right? Air quality index. So it is a way to combine measurements of multiple air pollutants into a single number or ratings. This index is ideally kept constantly updated and available in different places. The AQI is most useful when lots of pollution data are being gathered, when pollution levels are normally but not always low. AQI is used when a lot of pollution data is collected and when the pollution levels are really low. In such cases, if pollution levels spike for a few days, the public can quickly take preventive actions like staying indoors and air quality. Like we are given instructions during the time of stubble burning and Diwali in the NCR region, you have to stay inside because air quality index is very, very high. But unfortunately, this is not urban India. Pollution levels in many large cities, Indian cities, are so high that they remain well above any health or regulatory standard for large part of the year. It's true. If our index stays in the red or dangerous region day after day, there is not much anyone can do other than getting used to. AQI is basically what he has said. AQI is measurement of pollutants, but this is pollution levels are low usually throughout the year. That people can understand when it spikes, you can take preventive measure. But in India, this is of no use. Most of the year, our pollution index is very, very high, and there is no other way beyond getting used to it. That has been conveyed in the passage. Now let's read the options, guys. Our governments are not responsible enough to keep our cities free. That the inference that he wants to convey. There is absolutely no need for air quality indices in our. Third is air quality index is not helpful to the residents of many of our large cities. In every city, public awareness about pollution problems increase. See, guys, we can eliminate option number A and D. Why? Because that has not been discussed in the passage at all. Guys, something is not even discussed, we cannot assume it to be true. Now, the confusion was between B and C. There is absolutely no need. Guys, we always must understand that take an option extreme, that there is absolutely no need for air quality indices. That's wrong. We need it. But see, the point is we cannot use it. We need it, but it is of no use. So that is why the correct answer is option number C. Air quality index is not helpful to the residents of any of our large cities. Most of the time of the year, the air quality index is so high that it becomes, you know, irrelevant to look after the air quality index, and people are getting used to ignore. Right. So the correct option here was again option number C. Let's discuss another passage, guys, on the same lines. Now we have to find again the most logical and rational inference that can be made from the passage. Let's again read the passage carefully and let's try to solve it. Productive jobs are vital for growth. A good job is the best form of inclusion. Productive jobs are vital for growth. That's true. And a good job is best form of inclusion. They're talking about financial inclusion, bringing people from unorganized sector into organized sector of the. More than half of our population depends on agriculture. But the experience of other countries suggests that the number of people dependent on agriculture will have to shrink if per capita incomes in agriculture are to go. We have more than 64% of the population dependent on agriculture. That's why our per capita income is low. The experience of other countries suggests that if we have to increase per capita income, the dependence on agriculture will have to shrink. While industry is creating jobs, right? Too many such jobs are low productivity, non-contractual jobs in the unorganized sector. So manufacturing industry is creating jobs. Jobs are non-contractual and they are low productive in unorganized sector, offering low incomes, little production, and no benefits. Service jobs are relatively of high productivity, but employment growth services has been slow in the recent years. Service industry has relatively high productivity, but employment growth in service sector has been slow in the recent years. That has been conveyed here. Now let's look at the logical inference that could be made from the options are: we must create conditions for the faster growth, highly productive sectors, ensure employment growth and include. Must shift the farm workers to the highly productive, ensure the economic growth, and must create conditions for the faster growth of productive jobs side of agriculture, even while improving the productivity of agriculture. Fourth is we must emphasize the cultivation of high yielding hybrid varieties, genetically modified crops to increase the per capita income of culture. Can I eliminate this? This has no one off. So after reading all the options, you must be able to eliminate some options that you are able to deliver and you are able to find the right answer. Now, we must create conditions for faster, highly productive service jobs for employment growth. That the right inference? Must shift the farm workers to highly productive manufacturing and service sector. Okay, this is wrong because manufacturing sector jobs are not highly productive. That has been mentioned. So we can eliminate this. Now we are left with option number A and C. So the correct option is we must create conditions for the faster growth, productive jobs outside of agriculture, even while improving, or we must create conditions for the faster growth, highly productive service jobs, ensure employment growth and inclusion. What do you say, guys, is the correct answer? Correct answer is um must create conditions for the faster growth of product outside of agriculture. That is true. That is the only logical inference that can be made. Over dependence on agriculture has been discussed. Conditions for faster growth, highly productive service jobs to ensure employment growth and inclusion. Guys, employment growth and inclusion is looked after by service growth in service jobs, but cannot create such without taking out people from agriculture sector. That is the logical inference that could be. This is the correct option. See, this is basically how you solve the passages rationally, deliver and execute, and then finally find your answer. We'll be discussing more such passages in the upcoming sessions. I hope this session was useful for your preparation journey. Guys, if you like the session, don't forget to like it, don't forget to share it. That may reach someone who actually needs this. So, guys, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel up till now, please so you do not miss out on any videos. And if you want the PDFs of these sessions in a Telegram channel, the link for it has been given in the description of the video. Guys, I thank you once again for joining in for sparing your precious time. And guys, if you wish to contact us for anything, you can call us on this number during the office hours, or you can drop us an email at hello@edutap. The website if you want to serve through our courses, www.edutap. Wish you all the success, and I believe that you are working really hard for your exam. Guys, let us help you in your journey, and we promise to deliver you the best content possible. Thank you so much once again, and happy learning to all of you.